Hi students, welcome back to my channel Karthik Need Biology. In the last session, I have discussed up to axial skeleton in skeletal system. Now the next topic is appendicular skeleton. Next topic is appendicular skeleton. Next topic is appendicular skeleton. What is appendicular skeleton? The bones of limbs and their girdles constitute appendicular skeleton. The bones of limbs and their girdles constitute appendicular skeleton. What are limbs? Four limbs and hind limbs constitute limbs. What are girdles? Pectoral girdle and pelvic girdle. What is appendicular skeleton? The bones of limbs, that is the bones of forelimbs and bones of hind limbs, and girdles, that is pectoral girdle and pelvic girdle. This is about appendicular skeleton. First, forelimbs. Forelimbs. Forelimbs also called as hands. Forelimbs also called as hands. Each forelimb consists of each forelimb consists of 30 bones. Each forelimb consists of 30 bones. So total bones in both forelimbs contain 60 bones. Both forelimbs contain 60 bones. The sequence of bones in forelimb. Sequence of bones. The sequence of bones in forelimb are humerus, humerus, radius, humerus, radius, ulna, carpels, metacarpals, carpels, metacarpals, and phalanges. This is the sequence of bones in forelimbs. Humerus, radius, ulna, carpels, metacarpals, and phalanges. This is the sequence of bones in forelimbs. We have one humerus in each forelimb. Each forelimb consists of one humerus, one radius, one ulna, 8 carpels, 5 metacarpals, and 14 phalanges. Carpels also called as wrist bone. What are wrist bones? Carpels also called as wrist bones. Metacarpals also called as palm bones. What are palm bones? Metacarpals are palm bones. Phalanges also called as digits. This is the forelimbs. These are the points of forelimbs. Again, I will tell about forelimbs. Each forelimb consists of 30 bones. So total bones in both forelimbs are 60 bones. The sequence of bones in forelimb are humerus, radius, ulna, carpels, metacarpals, and phalanges. Total bones in each forelimb is 30 bones. One humerus, one radius, one ulna, 8 carpels, 6 metacarpals, 14 phalanges. Carpels also called as wrist bones. Metacarpals also called as palm bones. Phalanges also called as digits. This is about forelimbs. Next, hind limbs. Next, hind limbs. Each hind limb also contain 30 bones. Each hind limb also contain 30 bones. Each hind limb also contain 30 bones. So total bones in both hind limbs are 60 bones. 60 bones. The sequence of bones in hind limb are femur, tibia, femur, tibia, fibula, tarsals, metatarsals, and phalanges or digits. Phalanges. Femur is longest bone. Longest bone in thigh is femur. Femur is the longest bone. One femur, one tibia. Each hind limb consists of one femur, one tibia, one fibula, seven tarsals, five metatarsals, 14 phalanges. Along with these bones, another bone is called patella. Patella is also present in hind limb. Patella is also called as kneecap. Kneecap. Patella is also called as kneecap. We have two patella. So each hind limb consists of one patella. This is about hind limbs. Each hind limb consists of 30 bones. So total bones in both hind limbs are 60 bones. The sequence of bones in hind limb are femur, tibia, fibula, tarsals, metatarsals, phalanges, and patella. These are the types of bones in hind limbs. Femur is a thigh bone. It is the longest bone. One femur. Each hind limb consists of one femur, one tibia, one fibula, seven tarsals, five metatarsals, 14 phalanges, and one patella, that is kneecap. This is about limbs. Next, girdles. Girdles. First, pectoral girdle. Pectoral girdle. Each pectoral girdle consists of two halves of bones. Each pectoral girdle consists of two halves of bone. This pectoral girdle is useful for articulation of upper limbs. Articulation of upper limbs. Articulation of upper limbs. What is the use of girdles? That is pectoral girdle. The use of pectoral girdle is useful for articulation of upper limbs. Articulation of upper limbs. Articulation of upper limbs. Pectoral girdle consists of clavicle, clavicle and scapula. Clavicle and scapula. What is the use of pectoral girdle? Articulation of upper limbs. Articulation of upper limbs. Articulation of upper limbs. Clavicle is a collarbone. Clavicle is collarbone. Clavicle is also called as collarbone. Scapula is large triangular bone. Scapula is a large triangular bone. Large triangular bone. It is located on dorsal side. Located on dorsal side between second to seventh rib. Second to seventh ribs. What is the location of scapula? Between the second to seventh rib. Scapula is a large triangular bone. Scapula is a large triangular bone located between the second to seventh rib on the dorsal side. Scapula is located at dorsal side. Scapula contain an elevated ridge called spine. Elevated ridge of scapula is spine. What is elevated ridge of scapula? Spine. Spine is a elevated ridge. Spine contain an expanded process. Spine contain an expanded process. Spine contain an expanded process. Expanded process called acrominian process. Acrominian process. Spine contain an expanded process called acromion process. Below the acromion process, below the acrominian process, below the acromion process, a depression, a depression called below the acromion process, a depression called glenoid cavity, glenoid cavity, to which head of humerus, to which head of humerus, head of humerus articulates, articulates to form shoulder joint, to form shoulder joint or ball and socket joint, shoulder joint or ball and socket. This is about pectoral girdle. Pectoral girdle consists of two halves. Pectoral girdle is useful for the articulation of upper limbs. Pectoral girdle consists of two halves. Each half consists of clavicle and scapula. Each half of the pectoral girdle consists of two bones, that is clavicle and scapula. Clavicle is collarbone. Scapula is a large triangular bone located on the dorsal side of thorax. Scapula is located on dorsal side of the thorax between the second to seventh rib. Scapula contain an elevated ridge called spine. Spine contain an expanded process called acromion process. What is acromion process? Expanded process of spine is called acromion process. Below the acromion process, a depression called glenoid cavity, depression or cavity. This depression is useful for attachment of head of humerus to form shoulder joint or ball and socket joint, ball and socket joint, ball and socket joint. Next, pelvic girdle, pelvic girdle, pelvic girdle. Each pelvic girdle consists of two halves, two halves. This pectoral girdle is useful for articulation of lower limbs, lower limbs. Pectoral girdle is formed by the fusion of fusion of three bones. They are ilium, ischium, ilium, ischium, and pubis. The fusion of these three bones to form pelvic girdle. These ilium, ischium, pubis at the at the point at the point of fusion, at the point of fusion of these bones, at the point of fusion of these bones, at the point of fusion of these bones, a cavity is formed. This cavity is called acetabulum. Acetabulum. What is acetabulum? The fusion of ilium, ischium, pubis of pelvic girdle is called acetabulum. This acetabulum is useful for the attachment or articulation of lower limb, lower limb or head of the head of the femur to form hip joint, to form hip joint. Ilium, ischium, pubis also called as coxal bones. What are coxal bones? Ilium, ischium, and pubis are coxal bones. Ilium, ischium, and pubis are coxal bones. What are coxal bones? Ilium, ischium, and pubis are coxal bones. These two coxal bones, these two coxal bones joined to form a pubic symphysis. Pubic symphysis. What is pubic symphysis? It is a meet of two coxal bones on the ventral side to form pubic symphysis. It is a fibrous cartilage. What is pubic symphysis? Fusion of two coxal bones ventrally to form a pubic symphysis. This is fibrous cartilage. This is about pelvic girdle. So total number of bones in appendicular skeleton is 126 bones. Each forelimb consists of 30, so total 60. Each hind limb consists of total 30, so total 60 bones. So both limbs contain 120 bones. Both limbs contain 120 bones, and these ilium, ischium, pubis, and clavicle, scapula. Both these girdles contain 6. These 120 bones and 6. Total bones in appendicular skeleton is 126 bones. Thank you. This is about appendicular skeleton. For more videos, please subscribe the channel. Thank you.